In this video, I want to talk about the parts to build your camper van. So this is the third in a series of videos. The first one was my thoughts about build or buy a camper van and all the implications and bits and pieces around that. The second video was all the support you need, and I listed off YouTube some people I know that build camper vans and give advice and show you where you can get the bits and pieces and give you an in-depth knowledge and diagrams and pictorial descriptions of how to do various things to build a camper van. And that second one is interesting because I also asked people to put recommendation links in the comments. So as you go onto that video, you can look through the comments, and there's lots more of other YouTubes and organisations and businesses that have added onto there that you can have a look at and make your own judgments about. But there's a massive library there of information about practically everything you can possibly want to build your camper van. So this video is slightly different. It's about the bits and pieces you need to build your camper van. So if we just go back to YouTube, a lot of the YouTube channels, particularly like Greg and John, will list, and Melswell will list the parts that they're actually using. So in the drop down menu underneath there, they will list on eBay or Amazon or various websites the information you need to find the relevant part they're using. So it might be a heater, it might be a sink, it might be a piece of electrical equipment, solar power, whatever, and they'll list them underneath, which is great because you know that you've seen it being fitted, you understand how that piece of equipment's fitted, and you know where to go to a company that will supply that exact part for you. But as time moves on, I would also recommend to people, if they look at an old video and somebody's fitting a part, to actually just drop them a message and say, I'm interested in fitting that particular table, solar panel, cupboard, heater, whatever, and ask them if what it's like now, 2 or 3 years down the line. Is it still working? Would you change anything? Is there a new model come out? And that will give you an inside knowledge of a review, really, how good that piece of equipment is, and then you can make a decision if you actually want to fit that bit, or look at a more up-to-date video of how that new part, if there's a recommendation for a new part, can be fitted. Now the other basic bits and pieces to get for filling out your camper van, simple things like screws, nuts and bolts and wood. A lot of people tend to go to B&Q or Wickes's, but there is another option in hopefully most areas that you can use. Now near us, we live in East Yorkshire, not far from Hull, and there's a small business that sells everything you could possibly want for carpentry, DIY, wood, all the bits and pieces. And they offer a service for a couple of quid. They will actually cut everything to size for you, which is really, really useful. I know B&Q do some cutting, but these little companies, where it's a family firm, you can actually have the conversation with them and say, look, I want to buy all this plywood for lining this, or I want to buy this particular amount of timber. Can you cut it into these lengths for us? And some of them, like the one near us, you can take them a list of what wood you want. You can give them all the sizes, and they'll cut it all to size for you. So as long as you get your measurements right, you can literally just go and pick up all the different pieces of wood. They'll mark them up for you, which is which piece, and then you can fit them into your van, which is a great way of doing it. The other bit is that people will spend hours, as we all do, looking on eBay and Amazon and other websites and buying bits off the internet. And it's that non-face of the internet. So you'll order something, you look at the pictures, you'll buy it, it gets delivered, if it gets delivered, and if it's somewhere from China it'll take forever, or if it's something somewhere out the UK, it may have a tax added to it for import tax and customs. And when this bit comes, now and again it comes and it's nothing like you was expecting, it's basically junk. Or you buy something and then later on down the line it goes faulty, it's still under warranty, but you contact the company and they're just not interested, they won't honour the warranty. And I've had that myself. In one of my videos I had to replace the light bar across the top of my van, and it was supposed to come with a 2-year warranty. So I contacted them and I showed them photographs of all the water in it, and they said, oh yeah, it's under warranty, we'll supply you a better one if you pay this amount of money. And the amount of money I was supposed to pay was more than the one that was actually under guarantee. And I couldn't get anywhere with it. I reported it to eBay and it never got anywhere, so I just bought one from another company. But there are around the company, and we're going to have a look at one today, small and medium sized, and some decent sized businesses like the one we're going to today, that have all the bits and pieces, or the majority of bits and pieces, that you need to actually build your camper van. And the advantage of these places is you can go and have a conversation with people. You can literally, if you go in your van, these places generally let you take it out of the building, test it for shape and size in your van before you buy it. And they've got all the advice and guidance, and they can say, oh yeah, if you fit in that, you can buy this particular wiring loom, or you need this particular gauge of cable to run that. But the other good piece about it, particularly if you're buying something like a cooker or a fridge or an expensive part, if you have a problem with it, they have a face. And what I mean by that is you can actually go back to them and say, remember I bought this from you, I brought it back, it's not working. And they'll either test it in the shop and give you a replacement straight away, or they'll deal with a return. And I think that's priceless, particularly if you're spending like 500 quid on a fridge or something. So I would also consider that. So we're going to have a look at this place, and we'll have a look around at what they've got in stock there. But what I'd also like people to do, as we did in the last one, if there are other places like this, or you've got other recommendations of places that will supply you your hardware, your timber and things like that, and cut it to size, put the link in the description below for other people and say whereabouts it is. And likewise with suppliers of equipment to actually fit out your camper van, put the list in the description below and the location, and then people can scroll through this and they can say, oh, I live in Kent or somewhere, is there anywhere, oh, here's a recommendation, I can go to them, get me wood cut to size, or I can go here and buy a fridge or whatever. One final thing I need to remember to mention as well is that also look at chandleries. What I mean by chandleries are people that supply things for boats, for narrow boats and sailing boats. A lot of the things you can use in boats you can actually use on camper vans. So if you go to a marina, we work on a marina in Hull, and if I want any cables making them, high power cables for my battery system, I can go in there and they'll cut it to length and fit the ends for me, and it comes as like a professional job made to measure. And they'll have light fittings and switches and all the bits and pieces, and some of that stuff is actually better quality because it's marine quality and designed to be used in water. So there's another consideration there, to look at marina shops and chandleries as we call them, for the bits and pieces you can actually get from there. So this is the place that I buy a lot of gear from, particularly my expensive stuff. I bought a fridge from here, Magnum Motorhomes. I'll put the link in the description below, but let's have a look inside. You going to give us a song and a dance?
No, I'm not TikToking.
So what we're talking about this place is basically all the stuff you find on the internet you can find in here, but the advantage of this is you can actually come and look at it. So they've got all the sink units in, all the cookers, ovens, practically everything you need, and various configurations of everything you need to actually build your camper van. But the big advantage of this is that you can come and have a look at it. And the guys that work here are really helpful. I come across here all the time. It's based in Grimsby. And the big advantage is that you can come across here and you can take things out to your van and see if they fit or if they line up right. And the knowledge these guys have got is just perfect. You can ask them all the questions about different wiring configurations, which water pump you want, which fitting you want. And also if you've got a motorhome as well and you're looking for replacement parts, they have all different bits and pieces here. So if you break one of these connectors off or lose the lock or damage the lock, you can actually come here and get a replacement for it instead of trawling through the internet. But practically everything you could possibly think of, all the different fittings, all the different pieces. Look at that. That's Gadget John's dream wall. full-size cooker. All the vents, all the external vents. Fridges, freezers. See, if you're spending like 500 quid or 550 quid on a fridge and you buy it off the internet and it goes wrong, you're having to pack it back up, send it back off to somebody you don't really know. You can come here, see these guys, and they'll test it out, and they'll sort a replacement out for you or your warranty out for you. So that's the big advantage of going to somewhere like this. And this is one of the best places I know because it's got so much in here. You get lots of other ones like on caravan sales sites or motorhome sales sites, but they don't have such a massive stock of equipment that you'll get in a place like this. Bathroom equipment. Lots of different supplies of wood liners, plastic fittings, shower trays, and trims like this. Edging from when you're bringing two boards together, you can slide into this and make a nice edging in lots of different colours. Somebody was recently asking about these. Well, they sell these here, and they're really easy to fit. They actually come on a bracket with a sliding roller down the side. All the different size bits of wood, different colours. Displays of all the bits and pieces and how they fit together. And this is really good. Look, if you're looking at getting a professional edge, so you get two pieces of ply, which is fasciaed, you get the edging board, and then you can buy the piece that goes on the top as well. And the different colours that are available, and then they're all listed and lined up along here. And these are the type of services you can't really get off the internet. Okay, you can probably buy nearly everything you want off the internet that's in here, but you don't get the opportunity to do this. And look at this, this is probably for a T5, and there's a display there of the units, all the bits and pieces fitted in, rock and roll bed set up, and the cupboards with the roller shutter doors. Electric steps, rotating seat bases, heater systems, cabling, stretch carpet, wall and floor carpet, batteries, cabling, plumbing, piping, gasworks, regulators, pipes, refillable bottles, sealants, portaloos, wheel trims, the stuff you may need outside, chairs, tables, awnings, toilet tents. And then they have a display van which they change from time to time to show you which bits and pieces you can actually buy and actually fit in here. See, I would even say, if you're building a van and you don't live anywhere near Grimsby, it's actually worth coming up this far, driving a few hours to come up here, have a look around this place and buy your bits and pieces that are bespoke for your van. You could potentially buy something like that and just stand it in your van. It's a good way of doing it. Pre-made tabletops in all different sizes and different colours, and the various legs. Swivel plates. Thanks again for watching. Hope you found it useful. We'll see you on the next one.